30 for 30. Long
Yeah,
gone summer.
long gone summer.
I I mean, look, I knew every bit of that story. I told you I've been a Mark McGwire fan since the Bash Brother days. So I was always a big fan of his. I followed his career into St. Louis. I hated to see him go, but I mean, he was always such a good guy that I just kept following him, and I became a pseudo Cardinals fan because of him, um, because of where he was and what he was doing. And I thought that was really cool when he talked about the story of him in a slump, and then he got the standing O, and that just to me speaks to like South um, Midwest fans, right? It's we're gonna get behind you, buddy. We're gonna lift your spirits up, and you're gonna do right. And that's exactly what he did. And I thought that was a really touching story. And that's he didn't really say it, but that was probably the catalyst as to why he ended up staying there for 4.5 years or however long he was there. Um, and Sammy Sosa was brown. He was not. He was not bleached out. I have to go back and think that those photos of him bleached out were just because of flashes and such.
Nope.
I mean, it was crazy. I was like, anyway. But Sammy looked good. I mean, hey, I gotta respect the guy who wears a jacket with a little flower on his lapel. And that's smooth to me. I like that look personally. Um, I will probably be doing that the next time I wear a jacket. But no, I thought hearing the stories was great, and seeing the friendship developing between the two was fantastic. And what did you think?
Yeah, look, I'm like you. I knew most of that stuff. I lived through it. I watched it. I was enamored with it. I was definitely on the Mark McGwire side of the fence.
Mhm.
Um,
Did you ever
I
go to
just,
batting practice and watch him?
yeah, I did when they came to Dodger Stadium that year.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
I
got
went.
to I got to see him hit balls through the windows of the Bob in
Nice. Yeah,
Arizona.
I got. He took a
Amazing.
one or two balls during BP completely out of Dodger Stadium, and then I believe he hit a home run at Dodger Stadium that hit the roof of the left field pavilion. Um,
Yeah.
look, I was definitely rooting for McGwire. It's not that I'm anti-Sosa in any way. I just McGwire went to USC, local boy.
Yeah.
I live in LA, so I rooted for that guy. I rooted for him. Uh, and you said the thing about the standing ovation. Cardinals Nation is an amazing, amazing fan base. I got to go to that
Yeah.
stadium in like 2000, I don't know, 5 or 6, the last year of old Bush, not new one. And that fan base is ridiculous. They were some of the nicest fans I've ever run into. They were totally, explaining players and where they came from, knew their backgrounds, knew nearly everything about them. It was amazing. And
Yeah.
I mean, Sosa at Wrigley had to be the same thing because they call it the friendly confines. I mean, it's a great stadium. It's been there forever. The neighborhood was built basically around it. I'm sad that he hasn't been back or invited back in that long. I didn't know that. That was news. I understand that they want him to admit something, but I completely understand his point of, hey, I've never been busted. I've been tested and clean every time. And I'm like, look, if that's actually true, I don't want to say he's guilty because, it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. And there's nothing that proved that he's guilty. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, there's that one
Yeah.
report that was supposed to be anonymous that he failed the test. And he
But
has the whole
but
court.
but again, the only person that really knows where that came from is that New York Times reporter.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
You have to
problem
you
with
have
that.
to trust the New York Times to say, oh, what they found was correct.
Right.
Look, when it comes down to all of it, I mean, McGwire, he admitted to it later, but if he didn't admit to it, we'd still be talking about him in a did he do it, did he not? Was it just creatine and andro? Legal at the time. Um, so look, I mean, if something's legal and you're using it, back off,
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Um, I didn't know that Sammy hasn't gone back to Chicago. I think they need to welcome him back. He's done so much for them, and I'm glad that McGwire still is connected to the game. It seems like he's dedicated his whole life to the game, and that's all he wanted. That's all he gave up a marriage for it. What it sounded like.
Yeah.
Um, and he was all about baseball all the time. So, I mean, look, if you don't know anything about it, I think most people do, because there was an interesting, one of the reporters was talking about, look, there are a couple things that all sports fans know, and it's who's hit the most home runs, right?
Hank
And
Aaron.
but no, but you ask, right? Like, people know this story,
Yeah.
right? It's similar to, I would say back in the 80s or even the 90s, who was heavyweight champion of the world? And then you would say, oh, I know who that is, right? So
Buster Douglas.
Buster Douglas, right?
Hey, wasn't
Yeah.
Foreman heavyweight champion at some point in the 80s and 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah,
George
that's right.
Foreman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat I see his face, bald-headed guy.
Spinks?
Uh,
No.
no, no, he's a nobody. But anyway, so look, that's it, man.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot of shit. Probably got half of it wrong.
Not at all. You
Um,
always, well, I always get it wrong. You probably get it mostly wrong.
yeah, but what are you gonna do? It's all I know. I don't know much, but I do know some of this stuff.
Was it
Eh,
Holyfield?
no.
Hmm.
We'll figure it out one day.
Yeah.
Anyway, subscribe to the channel. Later.
Yeah.
Peace.
When are you replacing Dana becoming the union head? Oh, wait.
Uh, not the union head. I want Dana's job.
All right, fine.
Okay, Dana? Got you right there, Dana. I got you right there.